So I wanted to take a minute and respond to a comment from previous videos. Um, Mr. Larry Masters said that he's now locked into a student loan for a trade school. He says, I found something that I love after 48 years. And I can relate. Congratulations. I started out when I started in 1986, and I went to a trade school and paid what was for me at the time quite a bit of money. I took out a student loan. And really, honestly, at the time, I didn't know what a good move I made. They showed me a picture of a guy sitting on a bucket welding, and I looked at it and said, yeah, I think I can do that. Let's do that. Right. And the thing is, it's been really a great trade. It's something that there's not a lot of mental preparation. It's doesn't. I'm not saying that it doesn't help to be smart, okay? And math helps, and geometry helps, and all this stuff helps. But there's not as much to learn in books in order to be able to do it as there is a lot of things. Like if you're a machinist, there's a lot of stuff that you need to learn, and you need to be able to look up, and you need to be able to commit stuff to memory. Welding's not like that. It's mostly coordination. It's more like being a jock, learning a sport, or learning how to play music. You get it by practicing it, and you practice and you practice and you practice. And there's some stuff that you can learn that will help you, and you will go farther if you're smart, if you are good at math, good supervisor, all this stuff. You can move up farther in the company. But as far as the welding part of it, it's mostly muscle memory. It's just doing it over and over, and you've got to mess a lot of it up before you ever get it. And most people won't do it. And so that's the barrier to entry that makes it so good. I mean, they say that you need to spend 10,000 hours on something to really master it. And I don't know if the 10,000 is exactly accurate, but that's pretty much what I'm talking about. Is there is no shortcut. You can't read more books and get it. You have to go do it. You have to put on the gear. You have to get out there. You have to be uncomfortable. It's hot. You get burned. A lot of it's hazardous work, and a lot of people just won't do it. They're not down for that. And that's what creates the opportunity. Successful people do things that unsuccessful people don't do. They're not willing to do. And that's one of the just universal things about success in any field. And it's certainly true with this. I always loved it. Since I started doing it, I mean, melting metal, making things out of metal, playing with fire, that's just, I like doing it. And I'm still doing it even now. And I wanted to talk to everybody, though, a little bit about just some general career advice. Okay. When I started, 1986, there was a shortage of welders. There was more work than ever. There weren't as many young people going into it. Even when I was a kid, everybody was going into computers. Everybody with enough brains was going into computers. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that if everybody goes into something, there's going to be too many of them, right? And it was like that for quite a while. There was a glut for a while, but there's been a shortage the entire time of welders. And now, 35 years later, not only is that true, it's worse than ever. There is a shortage of every skilled trade. It doesn't matter what it is. Electricians, carpenters, farmers. We don't have enough farmers. All right. I had a boss. You say you can't eat computer chips, and it's true. You cannot have a country where everybody does computers. You can't have a country where everybody does financial services. It's been tried. It doesn't work. You've got to have somebody do all the jobs, right? When your car is broken, you need a mechanic. Nothing else will do. when your toilet stopped up, you need a plumber, right? And plumbers make very good money, even if all they do is unclog drains. That's like the lowest level, and it still is a very good trade. And they've got everybody, the young people especially, they've got them brainwashed from decades of just telling them, no, in order to be successful, you've got to get a college degree, and you need to work in an office, and you need to wear a suit, or you're just getting one of those crappy jobs that you're never going to make much money. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. They're trying to fit everybody into a mold that, first off, not everybody fits into. Not everybody wants to work in an office. Not everybody's well suited for that. Not everybody wants to spend that many years in school. And the fact is, no matter how long it takes to prepare for it, if you've got too many people doing it, it's not going to pay as good. And if you don't have enough people doing the other thing, there are things that are not getting built right now because we can't find the people to do them. Okay? So I want to encourage everybody, don't shy away from the dirty jobs. Don't shy away from the blue collar jobs. If that's something that appeals to you, you should really think about doing it. And I would recommend getting some training. You can you don't have to learn everything by trial and error. This stuff has been done before. I work at a college, and we train people to do it. We also train the police. We train nurses. We've got all kinds of CTE right there, career technical education. And this is something that the government has seen that we've kind of went the wrong way on this, and they're throwing a lot of resources at it right now because we've got to bring back our manufacturing sector. We've got to bring back these skilled trades, and we've got to be to where we're not depending on somebody else to do it for us, or maybe depending on somebody who just isn't even there. Okay. Everything that you see in the modern world, it takes skilled people to keep it going. Forget about building new things, just to keep it going. If things don't change a little bit, if we don't get some more talent in here, and if we don't start replacing all the old guys that are leaving, they're dying, whatever, retiring, we're going to be living in caves. We're going to be scratching around with a stick for a root to eat or something because we won't have enough farmers, and we won't have cars, because those are made out of metal, and nobody works with metal anymore and all that. So congratulations to you that you've, Larry, that you've found something that you like to do, and your commitment for it. And for all of you people who are looking at this and you're thinking about what you really want to do, it's a good way to go. And whatever your trade is that you choose, pick something that you like to do, and do it. And if it takes a while to learn, that's what's going to make it good. All right. If it's hard, it's probably worth doing. Okay. If it's too easy, everybody's going to do it. Nobody makes that money being a barista. And most of the jobs nowadays, that's the kind of job it is. It's a barista, it's a greeter, it's it's not skilled labor. And I don't care, you go in some of these companies and they try to convince you, that you're part of the family and they love you and all this stuff. I don't care who you are. You're going to get paid according to how hard you are to replace. And that's just how it is. That's how we work out, how we have to pay. Right now, we're at the point where they're throwing more and more money at welders all the time. And a lot of places just don't have any more to throw out there to attract people. And they're having trouble finding them. There's a great big skills gap. People think that because there's unemployment, you should be able to find workers. Well, it doesn't mean that you can find qualified workers, right? And if you really want to go very far, you're going to want to get either some skills or some education or both, and maybe some capital, something to set yourself apart from the crowd. And if you do that, you'll be very successful if you apply yourself and if you don't give up. Anyway, just want to give everybody that encouragement. I started this channel right here really as it was an assignment for a class I took. And having seen like how much demand there is for this, we're going to make this a regular thing. And I'm actually going to talk to some friends of mine. We're going to see about getting some welding screenshots and everything. But in the meantime, anybody that's got any kind of questions, you need to know something, hit me up, ask a question in the comments, and I'll try and put out a video for you. All right, thanks.